The era of Monarchs returns. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Out of nowhere this morning, Duelist Advanced dropped in. I love the 4 a.m. news segment grind out here because this just dropped out of nowhere. Twitter, I guess, has been acting up today, but we got new Monarch support, and this right here, this is Idos, the Underworld Monarch. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you about these cards, Regenesis still feels like a much more complete deck than these cards do, and I do love me some Regenesis. But this is going to be a new level 6 Dark Spellcaster with 2400, 1000. It's really cool to see Idos did get a little form though. So you can only use this card's first, second, and third effects, this card's name, each once per turn. So if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Monarch Spell Trap card or a monster with 1000, or excuse me, with 2800 attack and 1000 defense from your deck or graveyard to your hand. It's actually really cool. You're able to re-pull back out of the graveyard to get you back that resource, but it's just going to be a stepping stone to get to a bigger Monarch out here. We can declare one attribute, choose a monster on the field, it becomes the declared attribute. Now, this is kind of cool for the Mega Monarchs out here, where you're going to be able to kind of start doing some of this immediate changing of attributes to force your opponent into a bad position out here, and I really like that. And then if you tribute summon a monster with 1000 defense and 2400 or more attack, and this card is in your graveyard, you can either add this card to your hand or special summon it. Now that I like a lot. This puts the extra body on the field. You know, it's I can understand a world where you would want to recur this back to your hand, but putting this on the field means that you get the attribute changing clause right away, because this card does not have to be tribute summoned in order to do that. And also, you know, being able to bring this back out during the opponent's turn to also get the spell and trap search is going to be really, really good. I nothing but positive things to say about this. Now, of course, we had to have a new little baby Monarch out here as well, you know, the 800 1000s. So this is Tessera, the Prime Squire. And of course, you can tell we're, you know, manipulating that water, fire, and wind for this. So this is going to be a level 1 light warrior with 800 attack, 1000 defense, hitting all those good marks. So you can only use the first, second, third effects, this card's name, each per turn. So we can reveal a Monarch Spell and Trap card in your hand to special summon this card from your hand. Thank you for this. I needed something that could extend itself. During your main phase, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, tribute summon a monster. Okay, but why do I want to get this on the field, you know, to be able to do the thing? So this last effect here. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense from your deck, and then you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. This interacts with Idos and the other little baby Monarch out here, actually getting these set up onto the field and allowing you to get the thing. All right, free extender from the hand, free ability to gain a tribute summon with super ease, which is so freaking good, and then getting a bigger interaction with Idos and Erebus. I also like the fact that it's whenever that this is sent to the graveyard. So technically, we can now play Foolish Burial in this deck, drop this on down, and be able to kind of combo up along that way. I like that idea. Maybe there will be some other consistency enablers that'll make you want to play this, but you'll also be able to chain block this because you'll have the Monarch on summon effect. I believe, well, actually, I think the Monarch effect's mandatory. You might not be able to chain block in the way that I'm thinking that you want to attempt to, but we have another fantastic card here for Monarch. So both monsters knocking it out of the park here for this. Now, our new spell and traps tell quite an interesting little lore down here. So this is the scheme of the Monarchs for a spell card, and you got the whole round table of these guys doing their thing. So normal spell card, you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So we can send one Monarch spell and trap card from your deck to the graveyard, except for Scheme of the Monarchs. Hey Konami, why couldn't you let me send the other thing to the graveyard to actually be able to play the game? But okay, that's fine. No big deal. If this card becomes banished, we can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Add a monster with 2400 attack and 1000 defense. that is the same attribute as that monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and then apply this effect. We can normal summon a Zodborg, the Thunder Monarch, Mobius, the Frost Monarch, Thestalos, the Firestorm Monarch, Grandmark, the Rock Monarch, Ryza, the Storm Monarch, Archaeus, the Shadow Monarch. I'm not going to lie to you, when this card comes out in English, this is going to be a horrifyingly large amount of text that they're going to have to slap on this. But this does give you a Foolish Burial to drop down the Prime Monarch, and then it gets you the ability to search for one of the 2,400 attack point Monarchs, depending on what your opponent's got set up on your field. I'm not really too crazy about this, because I really wish this would be able to do something. Like, if I could interact with the opponent's monster that I just used to bounce off of and search, this card would have been fantastic. But this doesn't do anything to fill the specifically, devoid void that this deck has going for it. And then we have the Rebellion of the Monarchs. I see that the little guys are standing up to the big guy here. So I guess that's our story now. We're overthrowing the incredibly, insanely powerful Monarchs. So you can only use each of this card's first and second effects this card's name once per turn. So we can discard a card to reveal 3 monsters with 1,000 defense that have 800 attack or 2,400 or more attack from your deck, and your opponent chooses one to add to the hand and then send the others to the graveyard. Also, you can not special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. This card is very costly, in my opinion. I like the fact that we do get this discard 1, get the 3, and then we can, go pull out this guy and kind of set up and do our thing, which then kind of puts your opponent into that really weird position of, oh, hey, we don't want this to go to the graveyard, but then, you don't want, like, the Idos or the little guys going to the graveyard either. So it's going to depend on what combo pieces that you need set up into the graveyard with this. We can also banish this card from the graveyard to special summon a monster with 800 attack and 1,000 defense from your hand. Oh, okay, well, if you are adding, all those little babies and you're revealing all 3 of them here with this, you're going to get this banish effect to deploy one of those onto the field so that you can continue to combo. Like, this card patches up a lot of the problems that this had. But remember, this is going to be an inherent -1. And if they ash this, you're going to be in a horrible position. That is my only downside to this. Now, we also have the Culmination of the Monarchs. This is really cool. So each time your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, and you control a tribute summon monster, we can banish a Monarch spell or trap card from the graveyard to activate one of these effects. Now you can only choose each of the following names card effects per turn. So keep that in mind. We can hit every one of these if we need to. So we can destroy a monster on the field, destroy up to 2 spell or trap cards on the field, discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand, destroy 1 face down card on the field, return 1 card on the field to the top of the deck, or banish 1 card from the field. Which is really, really cool that they decided to design a Monarch card here that gives you all 6 of the original Monarch effects on a card, which is really cool. Now, something else down here I wanted to point out down here. As a note, the text for Advanced Summon, aka Tribute Summon, on the Japanese cards has been updated to use a summon as a shorthand instead of the use of the full word in furigana above, much like with the extra deck monsters above. Now, specifically, where you're going to notice that is, oh man, this is so small in order to, enhanceO Mechano this. It's going to be down here in this section right here. You're going to see the A being used now. It's definitely interesting to see, and, we are in a new era right now. You are in a new subset of, stuff. So you're going to start to see, they like to update a lot of things when we hit these new eras out here to actually upgrade these. Now, do I think that these cards are going to be good? Like I said at the beginning of this video, I think that Regenesis cards in general are just better. They are better Monarchs. They're better True Draco. It's cool that Konami acknowledged that we need to bring Monarchs up to speed out here, because literally you have the Thunder Gauntlet here in your hand, being able to power up these cards. That's freaking awesome, man. I love that. But the problem is this is a -1. This is okay. This is pretty good. And like Idos, I think just might be a one of in, the setup of things, but it's an interesting take for what we're dealing with. So, those are your new Monarchs this morning. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.